on India today are not going to mince any words. We're going to say it for as it is. There will be a lot of people today who would be saying that this kind of a blast, and now clearly has the footprint of terror with the Jaish-e-Mohammed tying into it with the bust of the terror module yesterday, has never been witnessed, at least in recent years, where mainland India is concerned. That is also a terminology used by many, where the heart of India, the capital, is concerned. And at the back of the terror bus, it should also be looked at as a success, because a lot has also been averted with ammunition as well as explosives to the tune of nearly 3,000 kilograms of ammonium nitrate, been busted and apprehended with the doctors. And that again points to larger questions in terms of the radicalization where doctors are concerned, calling it and labeling it a white terror module. But many would suggest that this has been, a larger terror attack attacks have been averted. There could have been use of, fine machinery in terms of the AK-57, all of that. But like I pointed out, when it comes to terror, viewers, one terror attack is one too many. 9 lives have been lost. And if it is the failure of the Delhi police, an intelligence failure which needs and must be questioned. I want to quickly get into a news break, because clearly questions are being raised and will be addressed. A high-level meeting right now taking place at Amit Shah's residence. The Home Minister, cops are in a huddle over security. A high-level meeting chaired by the Home Minister at his residence. The IB chief, the Delhi CP, the top officials part of the meet where the NIA is concerned as well. High-level meeting has begun at Amit Shah's residence. Amit Shah, the Home Minister who had been campaigning in Bihar, was in Delhi yesterday. An hour after the blast was reported, was at the site of where I am standing, which is the LNJP hospital where the injured were rushed. From here on, he visited the blast site and ever since has been tied up in terms of meetings where security apparatus, where Delhi is concerned, and the possibility, viewers. Today we are standing at a juncture with the question that are there more sleeper cells? Is there somebody else out there? Was there more ammunition? Is there more explosives out there? All those questions need to be addressed. Listen in to the Home Minister of the country.
आज शाम करीब 7 बजे दिल्ली में लाल किले के पास सुभाष मार्ग ट्रैफिक सिग्नल पर I-20 हुंडई गाड़ी में एक ब्लास्ट हुआ है। ब्लास्ट के कारण आसपास की कुछ गाड़ियां और कुछ मार्ग पर जा रहे लोग भी इंजर्ड होने के समाचार हैं। प्राथमिक सूचना जो मिली है उसमें कुछ लोग हताहत भी हुए हैं। ब्लास्ट की सूचना आते ही 10 मिनट में दिल्ली क्राइम ब्रांच, दिल्ली स्पेशल ब्रांच की टीमें स्पॉट पर पहुंची है। NSG और NIA की टीम FSL के साथ अभी गहन जांच करने का शुरू किया है। आसपास के स्थान के सभी CCTV कैमरा और बाकी सब चीज़ों की जांच के आदेश दे दिए गए हैं। मेरी CP दिल्ली से भी बात हुई है, स्पेशल ब्रांच के इंचार्ज से भी बात हुई है। CP दिल्ली और स्पेशल ब्रांच के इंचार्ज स्पॉट पर मौजूद हैं।
I want to cut across to my colleague Aishwarya Paliwal, who's joining us right outside the Home Minister's residence, where this high-level meeting with top officials, be it, the IB chief, be it the police commissioner of Delhi, be it members of the NIA, all tied up in a huddle to discuss the security situation. Aishwarya, what more can you add?
Well, let me tell you one thing, Preeti. It is the Home Minister who's been having a spate of meetings whole night last night. In fact, Prime Minister Modi also is being apprised of everything new that is coming out. Reports are being made. This is a very crucial meeting which is taking place. All the dots now are being connected. The Home Minister very, very clear. In the next couple of hours, the picture needs to be clear of what exactly has happened. And is the... Also, other states, that's also something that Home Minister is very clearly looking at. All the other states also have now intensified their search. The intelligence is now looking at other states also, especially the state of Bihar, the state of UP, Jammu and Kashmir. That's also something which is very crucially being looked at. What exactly has happened and what were the loopholes and how did this car go unnoticed? That's the big question, which from what we are understanding, Preeti, at the moment, those questions will be answered in the next couple of hours. A clear picture. That is what the Home Minister and the Prime Minister, they want at the moment. And how did this car go unnoticed? That's also the big question that is now being asked. The Delhi CP also has given out detailed reports to the Home Minister with regards to everything that they have with them at the moment. This is a meeting, let me tell you, which we understand will go on for the next couple of hours. Regular updates is being given to the central government, the Home Minister and the Prime Minister also with regards to the investigation that is taking place.
All right, Aishwarya getting us the latest from outside the Home Minister's residence. A high-level meeting taking place. Mind you, viewers, meetings after meetings have taken place through the course of late last night, ever since this blast was reported, and the print or the sinister footprint of terror and the Jaish-e-Mohammed and the terror module that was busted yesterday morning was established. Decisions need to be made, questions need to be asked. And we at India Today are continuing to do so. We've got all angles covered in terms of what is taking place, in terms of meetings at the Home Minister's residence. On site, not very far from me, is the blast site at Red Fort, gate number 1, metro station, where the investigative agencies have put and established makeshift tents. The entire Chandni Chowk area is shut. The marketplace is shut. The metro station of Red Fort is shut. Combing operations on, forensic teams on ground, picking every shred of evidence being analyzed in those makeshift tents, where through the course of late last night, machines, to hasten the process of investigations have been brought in. On the other hand, I stand right outside the LNJP hospital, me and my colleagues speaking to the doctors here. We've been told that 3 or 4 people who were critical have been referred outside. 4 or 5 of them continue to be treated. 9 have been reported dead, and some of them, of course, with minor injuries. Those who were standing up to 100 meters away from the blast site have been released with basic minor injuries. We continue to get you all aspects, but the biggest of it all now would be investigation. The man in question, what has now been established over the course of the last 12 to 15 hours, is that Omar Mohammed, a doctor who was from Faridabad at the Al-Falah University, training to be a doctor, in all probability was the suicide bomber behind the wheel of the I-20 car, which was carrying mammoth proportions of explosives. We don't know what those explosives were, but in all probability, Omar Mohammed is the Fidain attacker in this particular instance. All documentation, evidence points towards that this was an attack which wasn't possibly pre-planned. Omar Mohammed panicked after the bust in Faridabad, which has later led to arrests in Saharanpur, Uttar Pradesh, back in Pulwama, Jammu and Kashmir, and reacted in that manner in which he detonated the explosives right outside the Red Fort metro station, gate number 1. So was it an attack that was orchestrated in a sense of panic by the perpetrator in this question? The spotlight now also on who was Omar Mohammed, a doctor, which ties into the larger question on the arrests that have been made, where many doctors have been arrested, clearly labeling this terror module a white-collar terror module, raising grave questions on how doctors have been now radicalized into carrying out terror operations such as this. That remains to be answered. Omar Mohammed in question hails from a village in Pulwama. And look at irony's hand here. He hails from the same village of Pulwama in which in 2019 the major terror attack where a man detonated himself in a car laden with explosives. Omar Mohammed comes in from that same village. His mother, we got in touch with his mother, our reporters on ground, is in disbelief. She says her son was studying to be a doctor, has no clue what has transpired, what has happened.